Welcome to MSA 690 Financial Statement Analysis. I am Professor Hewen, and the purpose of this video is to give you an overview of the class and to show you some specific content so that you can see what it would be like to take this class. Let's begin by taking a quick review of the syllabus. What you'll see in this video is a combination of this preliminary syllabus for my late spring semester coming up, as well as some material that I've used the last time I taught this course in late spring of 2018. We can see from this course description that what we're going to do is be analyzing financial statements to examine companies' financial health, operating performance, growth, working capital, liquidity, capital structure, solvency, profitability, and doing overall stock valuation. We can see that the grade is determined by a combination of homework assignments, in-class assignments, quizzes, a final project and presentation, the final exam, and an ethics assignment. Let's go down now to our course outline. The course takes place over 11 to 12 weeks in the late spring semester, beginning early to mid-April and continuing through the end of June. We can see our topics outlined here, as well as specific assignments or quiz due dates. The items shown in yellow, these are our class meetings. Our class is going to meet 4 times during the semester, just about once a month. Each class meeting lasts 2.5 hours. In between those live class meetings, we're going to meet asynchronously, in which you'll be assigned content videos to watch and specific assignments for you to work on your own, as well as quizzes that will be due just about every other week. The purpose of this class is twofold. First, it helps students become good accountants, particularly entry-level accountants. Second, it helps students prepare for certification exams. Of course, the major certification exam for MSA students is the CPA exam. Now, if you pull up the CPA exam blueprints, which outlines all of the topics that are covered on the 4 sections of the CPA exam, you'll see that there's overlap between you'll see that everything that we cover in MSA 690 is covered on the CPA exam. Here's an outline of what's on the 4 sections in the major components, and here we can see what the material that we cover in MSA 690 where it shows up on the CPA exam. Particularly, almost everything in financial management, area 3 of the business environment and concepts section of the CPA exam is all covered throughout our semester. Here we can see the details of area 3 of the BEC exam, and this should look very similar to what we see on our course syllabus. But the CPA exam is not the only certification exam that this course will help with. If students are interested in taking the CMA exam to become a certified management accountant, we also see that the topics that we cover are helpful for the external financial reporting decisions, of course, financial statement analysis, as well as the corporate finance sections of the CMA exam. Material also overlaps with the CFA exam. We can see that the CFA exam is set up into 10 different components, and our class, of course, most highly correlates with the financial reporting and analysis section. We go back to the syllabus. We see that there is no textbook that's required, so all of the learning material will come either from free websites or from the content videos that I've created to go with this course, rather than using a textbook. So the delivery will be students will learn in 3 primary ways. One is during our class meetings. The second is in the content videos, which are all available on YouTube. In fact, you can check them out. If you just search Linda Hewen MSA 690, you'll see the playlist from my spring 2018 class, which shows 19 videos. I don't mean to brag, but this video did receive 1 like. Throughout this video, we are going to take a closer look at a few of the videos of these YouTube videos to see what the course content looks like. But just to continue the overview, students are learning from class meetings, watching these content videos on their own time during the asynchronous weeks, and also from completing the assignments. Some will be in class, but the majority will be done outside of class. And you can see here what one particular assignment would look like. Another assignment for it, as an example, is this case study here. It gives us a fictitious company and has students analyzing the financial statements and answering questions to get a closer look at how the company is doing financially. Next, let's take a few minutes to actually watch some clips from various videos from the semester.
Filing type 10-K. You want the most recent 10K? Click on Interactive Data. This will help you find the Excel file. Once this comes up, you can look at your financial statements online, but what we're going to be working with is View Excel Document. Now what we want to do is take the data from this Excel-based 10K and update our template. I'm going to click over till I find my income statement. Here it is for target on the second tab.
Let's take a look at a closer analysis after we've learned how to download the financial statements from the SEC's website. Let's look at some more of an analysis in another video. Here we see an analysis of Kimberly-Clark Corporation.
What have I learned about Kimberly-Clark so far? The company has net income of $2,319,000,000. Net income is primarily from operating income, and operating income is the most sustainable part of income. If a large part of the company's net income had come from a gain on the sale of investment securities, I would worry about the sustainability of net income. But in this case, I'm not. I also noticed that the company produced net income of $2,319,000 off of assets of $15,151,000. This works out to be a return on assets of about 15%. You don't need to worry about doing any calculations at this point, but we're just kind of comparing the two to see that the return is quite good.
In addition to doing financial statement analysis, we also look at how financial statements can be used for firm valuation. Here's a video that gets into more of the finance aspects of valuation.
0.09. 2001's cash flows, 2910. We're going to discount that back for 2 years.
Since we don't need to know step by step how to do this calculation, let's skip ahead to see how the problem works out.
So we subtract out the value of the debt. Again, this is given. And we get the value of the equity is the difference, 100,542. If we divide this by the number of shares outstanding, which we are given, what are we going to get? Number of shares outstanding is 2472. We get this number, 4067, and what did we just solve for? We just solved for the equity value per share. And you can understand why the investor would be interested in this number.
Also take a look at, here we had week 8 video 1 where we're working through introducing some new terminology, and we have a practice question and we have a special guest in our practice question.
Investments in long-term equity securities are typically considered operating rather than financial because they are usually made strategically. When a company purchases equity shares of another company, it's typically done because there's a strategic advantage of doing so. The acquired company's business model adds value to the acquirer's business. Before I move on to specific liability accounts, let's look at a quick example. Let's say that Drake Company has only 2 assets, a baby Benz and hunted bands. Can you classify each of these assets as operating or financial? Take a moment to think about it. Okay, was this your classification? If it was,
pause that video here just to point out that while I may only have 1 like on my video, this video actually has over 1,000 views, and it even got up to a whopping 19 likes. In addition to analyzing the financial statement data and financial performance of specific companies such as Gap, McDonald's, or Starbucks, we also look at a large data set and do some analysis on this large data set of financial statement data for all publicly traded companies over time, thanks to Sacred Heart's subscription to the CompuStat database. Here you see one specific assignment in which I've given the students financial statement data for years 2010 through 2018, along with company identifiers, ticker symbols, company names, and then several financial statement variables such as current assets, total assets, number of common shares outstanding, dividends per share, current liabilities, long-term liabilities, net income, total revenue, total stockholders' equity, and SEC, which is a classification of the company's industry. The assignment instructions were written down in a Word document, and there's also a video where I worked out my one industry analysis, and each student was assigned their own industry. Through this project, students added filters, created a new variable, 2-digit SIC code based on the 4-digit that was given. Each student was assigned one specific 2-digit SIC code to analyze, and I chose one as well. For my assigned or chosen SIC code, industry code, I have their data. I created these ratio variables: net profit margin, earnings per share, return on assets, return on equity, current ratio, and liabilities to asset ratio. From there, I looked over time, how did aggregate total assets change over the period 2010 through 2018, and how did aggregate net income change over the time? We looked at the ratios for year by year. So we took our data year by year and copied it over into specific worksheets, one for 2018, 2017, 2016. As you can see at the bottom here, each year has their median values at the bottom calculated. We did this for each year, 2018 back to 2014. Then we took those median values by year and we looked at how did median ratio levels for each one of our ratios change over the 5-year period for our one specific industry to get an idea of that industry's performance. The purpose of this assignment is to get students comfortable using a large data set and creating graphs and also analyzing that data, as we know that these are important skills for accountants to have. This concludes the overview of MSA 690 financial statement analysis. As I mentioned earlier, if you'd like to watch more of the videos to get a better idea of what the course content will be like, go to YouTube and search Linda Hewen MSA 690. Or even better, enroll in the MSA program, and I'll see you in the late spring semester of the year that you're choosing to join the program.